Hola. So here is your post-test. You have already taken this test as a pre-test, and the data will be shown to Mrs. McCooch, so you want to try your absolute best on this. It is a test conjugating regular AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. And if you look at the chart for 1 through 5, number 1 wants the yo form ending for an AR verb. Number 2 wants the to form ending. Number 3 wants the ea, usted, one person or one thing. Number 4 wants the nosotros, nosotras, or somebody yo. Number 5 wants the ellos, ellas, ustedes, or two or more people or things. And if you notice the answer choices on the right, you pick A if you want the ending to be amos, B for the ending of o, C for the ending of a, D for the ending of an, and E for the ending of as. So you might want to make a chart on a piece of loose leaf paper and put them in order, and then just align them with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So number 1, pick the ending that you would use for the yo form and bubble that letter in on your Scantron for number 1. Number 2 wants the to form ending, so pick the ending that would be used for the to form and bubble that in for number 2. Number 3, pick the ending that goes with those ones and bubble that in for number 3. Number 4, pick the ending that would go with those and bubble that in for number 4 on your Scantron. And number 5, pick the ending that would go with those and bubble that into your Scantron. And you should only have A, B, C, D, and E picked once for 1 through 5. And I gave you a little saying to help you remember. Okay, the next section is ER verb endings. So for numbers 6 through 10, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pick the ending for number 6. That would be the yo form ending. And it's the same as the yo form ending with AR verbs at the top. And then for number 7, once the to form ending, it would be the same but with an E instead of an A. Number 8, pick the ending that goes with those forms. El, ella, usted, one person or one thing. Number 9, pick the ending that goes with nosotros, nosotras, somebody, yo. And number 10, pick the ending that goes with ellos, ellas, ustedes, or two or more people or things. And again, you might want to write down the table, on a piece of loose leaf so that you know, and then you just line them up. But remember, you can only use each of those answers, one time each. Bubble them into your Scantron. And then the same thing for IR verb endings at the bottom, which is for numbers 11 through 15. And these ones are also going to have E's instead of A's, except the nosotros form will have an I. So match those up and bubble them in on your Scantron, and you can only use each one time. And they should all match. Each of those 3 charts should match one another. On the next page, 16 through 20 gives you a chart with the same forms as the forms that were on the front charts. But this time, instead of just the ending for an AR verb, they give you an actual AR verb to conjugate. So they give you the 5 different forms. If you notice, the vosotros form is missing on the ones that were on the front and these ones as well. So it gives you all the forms except the vosotros. But anyways, you have to pick the form of hablar that goes with each subject pronoun. So for number 16, they want the yo form of hablar. So bubble in A, B, C, D, or E, whichever one's the yo form of hablar. Number 17 wants the to form of hablar. So bubble in A, B, C, D, or E, whichever one's the to form of hablar. 18 wants the el, ella, usted, one person or one thing form of hablar. So pick the one that is the el, ella, usted, or one person, and bubble that in for 18. For 19, it wants the nosotros, nosotras, somebody, yo form of hablar. So pick the one that would be and bubble it in for 19. And number 20 wants the ellos, ellas, ustedes, two or more people. So find the one that would be and bubble that in for number 20. And make sure you have not used A, B, C, D, or E more than once for that section. And again, don't forget to pause this at any time if you need more time. The next section, 21 through 25, wants you to conjugate the verb beber. It's an ER verb. They want you to put the yo form of beber for numero 21, 21, and bubble that letter in for 21. 22, 22 wants the tu form of beber, so find which one would be the tu form and bubble that in. 23 wants the LA at usted, one person or one thing form of beber, so find the one that would be and bubble it in. And remember, these endings should match the same ER endings you used for the front page. 24 wants nosotros, nosotras, or somebody yo form for beber. And 25 wants the ellos, ellas, ustedes, two or more people or things form for beber. Again, make sure you use A, B, C, D, E only one time each for this section. And you may pause if you need more time. The last chart on this page is the verb vivir, which is an IR verb, and they want you to conjugate vivir and use the correct form for each subject pronoun. Number 26 is the subject pronoun yo, so they want the yo form of vivir. So pick that one and bubble that letter in for 26. 27 wants the tu form of vivir, so pick that one and bubble it in for 27. 28 wants the LA at usted, one person or one thing, so bubble that form in, whatever letter that is, for 28. For 29, bubble in the letter of the correct form, that's the nosotros, nosotras, somebody, yo form of vivir. And number 30 wants the ellos, ellas, ustedes, two or more people or things form for vivir, so find that one and bubble that letter in for number 30. Make sure you've used A, B, C, D, E one time only each for 26 through 30. And you may pause if you need more time. Okay, the last page here of your test includes numbers 31 through 40. And number 31 wants the tu form of the verb hablar. They give you hablamos, hablas, hable, hablo, hables. Remember to look if it's an AR, ER, or IR verb ending so that you don't pick E endings for an AR verb or A endings for an ER or IR verb. Just be sure you make sure you look at the endings, and they want the tu form, and it's an AR verb. So pick the one that's the tu form for the AR verb hablar, and bubble that letter in for number 31. 32, my best friend, mi mejor amigo. So think about which ending that would be, and it's an ER verb. It's the verb beber. So it's either beba, beben, bebo, bebe, bebimos. Remember, it's an ER verb, so it's got to be an ER verb ending, the one that matches my best friend, which would be he. 33 wants the nosotros form of the verb comprar, which is an AR verb. So pick the AR verb ending for the nosotros form. Is it compran, compro, compre, compramos, or compras? Bubble that letter in for number 33. 34 wants the yo form of tomar, which is an AR verb. So it wants a yo form ending though. So think about what ending the yo form is. Is it tomas, tomo, tomamos, toman, or tomen? Bubble in the letter that would go with the yo form for number 34. For number 35, they want the ustedes form of leer, which is an ER verb. So think about how the ER verb would end if it's the ustedes form. Would it be leen, leo, leemos, lean, or les? Remember, it's an ER verb. Bubble that letter in for number 35. For number 36, wants the ellos form of the verb escribir, which is an IR verb, and it's the ellos form. So think about what ending the ellos form has for an IR verb. Is it escribo, escriban, escribe, escriben, or escribimos? Think about what ending you would use for an IR verb for the ellos form, and bubble that in for number 36. For number 37, it wants the Mariela y yo form of aprender, which is an ER verb. So think about somebody and I, what ending you would give that for an ER verb. Aprendo, aprendimos, aprenden, aprendas, or aprendemos. Bubble that letter in for number 37 of whichever one is the correct answer. For number 38, it wants the ellas form of montar, which is an AR verb. So think about what the ellas form ending would be for an AR verb. Would it be monte, monto, montamos, monta, or montan? Bubble that letter in for number 38. For 39, the subject is Sara y tú, so two people, and I'm not one of them because it doesn't say yo. So think about what box it would be if it's more than one person and I'm not one of them for an ER verb, correr. Corro, corres, corren, corra, or corre. Bubble that whatever letter you think is the right answer in for number 39. And numero 40, number 40, wants the el form of practicar, which is an AR verb. So pick the ending that would be the correct ending for the el, ella, usted ending for an AR verb. So bubble in A if you think it's practica, B for practicamos, C for practico, D for practicas, or E for practique. Whichever one you think is the right answer, bubble that in for number 40. And just double check your work. You can go over the test again, replay this video, pause when needed. This is very important you do well on here. So hopefully you have checked your answers. And when you are done, bring your test and your Scantron back up to me. Thank you very much. Gracias.